Well, hey guys, what's going on today? We're going to be doing a oil change on a Kubota 2650. Fairly simple. I'll go over where the filter is, where the drain plugs are, and then I'll throw in a couple tips that Willie's showed me over the years to make it a little bit cleaner. So let's get right at it, guys. All right, for today's job on the oil change of the Kubota 2650, what we'll be using is a 17 mil socket, some oil, filter, funnel, and of course the old drain pan. So let's just get at her. Okay guys, there's the old Kubota 2650. Just to give you a little idea, the dipstick is right at the back here. You'll probably see it right there. Oil fill. Just want to know if the camera's going to pick it up right on top of the engine there. And if we just walk around to the other side, that's where you're going to be having the oil filter. Fairly easy. Kubota did a pretty easy job of making this maintenance fairly simple. Hey guys, let's just climb underneath here and I'll show you where the drain plugs are. They're right at the front. All right guys, well I had it running for about 10-15 just to get the oil a little bit warmed up. So as you can see, there's two drain plugs on the Kubota, and it's separated by the drivetrain. So just want to grab your 17 mil. No, they're not even that tight. Loosen that one. We'll loosen this guy here. So what I usually try to do is I just put the drain underneath, and then once it starts leaking out, I'll go back up, and then I'll remove the dipstick, and then she drains out, but nice and quick. A little bit of a mess there, but not too bad. Lucky you got the rag with you at all times. And then you'll see what happens when I release the pressure from up top here. Should be a nice good stream. Okay, there, we'll just let that drain off. Hey guys, if you like this kind of stuff here with the oil changes, I've done a couple oil changes on the Jeep, so there's videos in the back there if you want to look at. I just kind of messed around the garage, come up with some silly ideas. So yeah, if you like this kind of stuff, what I want to try to do is do these old pop machines, this old cooler here. I've done that up. I got a CT48. Those are kind of wintertime projects. So this is kind of one that I've done in the past. It was an old Pepsi machine, turned it into a old Harley Davidson beer machine. So if you like that kind of stuff, why don't you just hit that subscribe and like button, and I'll be bringing a whole bunch of that stuff to you. Okay, with the drain, the oil drained, what we'll do is just put these plugs back in. I checked the compression fittings. There's two copper compression fittings on there. They were all nice and normal, so. We'll screw these on, tighten them up, and then we'll get to the oil filter. Okay, with the drain plugs back in, we'll just remove the filter. This is going to be a little bit messy, but it just drains down. We'll just get the oil here out of the way. This should be hand tight. Maybe a little bit more, but slowly just take this out. Yeah, she's on there pretty decent. What I always try to do, guys, here's another quick little tip. And you've heard this before. I always write down the hours and the date of when I do the oil changes right on the filter. Just grab a magic marker of some sort. There you go. Awesome. We'll give that a quick clean and put the new one on. What you want to try to do on the new oil filter is just take a little bit of oil, rub it around the gasket there. I didn't want to go back and get some fresh stuff, so I'm just taking just a finger of the old stuff. It wasn't too bad. I cleaned up where the filter came off. And then we'll just Screw her on. Fairly long threads on these things. What I try to do, because the filter is easily notable, I don't crank on them with a wrench or nothing like that. I just put it on nice and hand tight and then give her about a quarter more turn. There you go. Not Gorilla tight, but it's not leaking. And then we'll just get the old funnel placed in there and dump in the oil. They say about 4 liters, but as you guys all know, what you do is fill in what they recommend, start it up, let the oil run through. I'm going to be using a Rotella 1540 on it. We have some pretty mild winters here, but not too bad. So I'm just going to dump in 4 liters, and then we'll go from there. So I've let it run a little bit there. We'll just check the oil. Pull her out once. Dipstick is kind of a little bit of a bother to get to. Not too bad. It's tucked away to the side. Sometimes a pain to feed back in. Check the oil. Bang on. Well, that was a fairly simple, easy job, painless. We'll go from there. Well, there you have it. Quick oil change of the Kubota 2650. Willie approved as always. If you found that helpful, give us a thumbs up. If you have any comments or suggestions, put them down below. Always open to that idea. So we're going to be doing a couple other projects here in the shop over some time. I'm going to get to these Coke machines, but with the weather like this, it's always outside stuff. So if you want, feel free to give us a subscribe down below, and we'll just go from there. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time.